My name is Eric Fagan. I'm running to be the next Fort Bend County Sheriff.
My name is Beccera. I'm a lifelong resident of Fort Bend County, and I'm running for the 434th District Court.
My name is Shirley Gilliam, and I am running for the Fort Bend ISD School Board Position 4. I am a 30-year educator with 25 of those years right here in Fort Bend ISD.
It's important to show up in midterms. It's important to show up for municipal races because, frankly, your local council person or your local school board trustee has a way bigger impact on you than the President of the United States.
It's everything you want. Every issue is involved in this election.
A lot of times everyone is excited because it's a presidential election. But we have to go all the way down the ballot because in our community, that's where we are really, truly effective.
It's like the judge that you vote for decides if someone goes to life or death because we have the death penalty in Texas. Your commissioner decides if poor people are going to flood again this year. Like, it's all these little races that we've been told don't really matter, don't make a difference. And they're literally the reason between life and death.
So why is that important? It's important that we are informed, that we research our candidates before we even come, so that we know who we want to give our vote to.
Time I voted, I guess I wasn't really educated on my answer, but this time I think I am. Honestly, I didn't really care.
People say that, I'm not interested in politics. The problem is politics is interested in you.
As a young person, are a lot of your friends voting?
A good 75%. Some of them feel like it won't make a difference.
I think young people are told that voting doesn't count and it doesn't matter. And I tell anyone who thinks that voting doesn't matter, if it didn't, it would be easy. It would be something that you would get registered when you get your driver's license, or you could register online or vote online. I think it's 100% difficult, and evidence of that is we've had 4 people come in today hoping to submit a sample ballot for a relative that's either afflicted with COVID or is over 65, and they haven't been able to do so because in Fort Bend there are, I believe, 20 early vote locations and only 1 that you can submit your early voting ballot.
Just got off of work. My husband dropped me off. I went inside with my new driver's license, and it didn't work, and so he took me home, and I went and got this, came back, stood in line again, and went inside, and it didn't work either, so I'm disappointed. I really wanted to vote this time.
On the first day of early voting in Fort Bend, there were county-wide polling issues that led to people waiting in line for hours.
Unfortunately, at the beginning of voting this morning, the computers were not operational. It took about an hour to get all the machines reprogrammed and back in operational. Now the computers were back up, and then we experienced another series of issues dealing with the ballots.
And that line wasn't moving. It was very concerning, especially being the first day.
And when the voting booths went down, I don't think it's coincidence that Katy was the first one to get fixed, where you see 80% white voters. You see people with a high average socioeconomic. In Sugar Land, short after that, the Missouri City, which is considered a black neighborhood, was the last one to get fixed. And these are people who were in line for 4 hours. 4 hours to have their ballot voted. And these are people who don't get time off of work to do these things. So I think there's a difference, and I think we don't get to ignore it anymore, because it's not our decision whose voice counts.
Situation we're in, voter suppression is a thing, gerrymandering is a thing, and we saw the polls right here in Fort Bend for a while where, the first day they kind of went down for a couple hours. But the way to fix that is to put the right people in power. If you want to make voting easier and get a, let's say online registration or, opt-in, opt-out registration where everyone's automatically registered, the only way to do that is to elect representatives that believe in those policies.
It's important to support our democracy. We shouldn't just sit back and let other people do things. We should play our role as well.
When you don't go out and vote, what you do is essentially you're letting other people make decisions for you. Whether it's your health care, whether it's your taxes, whether it's your roads, it's your schools, it's your infrastructure, it's, where your kids are zoned, it's, every little thing matters.
And just, it all affects our way of life.
Decision that we make as a people really impacts the next generation.
By you not voting, you are voting. You're voting for the person you didn't want in office. Your vote counts.
And then can you finish the sentence? I vote because.
I I vote because my voice matters.
To remind myself that I have a voice, and to help. That's the only way that we're going to be able to make changes in our community.
Because I want my decision to make a difference.
Care about the future, care about my kid's future. I don't have a kid now, but luckily,
I want a better world to live in.
Because I want change.
I vote because it's time for a change.
I want to make change, and I want people to hear my voice.
I vote because I love and I care about democracy in the country.
I vote because my ancestors didn't have the right to vote, but I do.
I vote because it's important.
It's important. That's all I can think of.
And are you excited to vote one day?